Stream is officially live. There we go. Welcome, everybody. Sunday night racing. We are back in action here tonight. It is the Fast Renegade Pro Cup Series. I have not called this series in quite a few years, but my man Zach Rogers approached me and said, "You up for a few races?" And this will be the first of those races. It's Michigan tonight, race 17 of this long season of theirs, and we'll be bringing you guys coverage of, I believe it was 5 races in total, starting tonight, and it's going to be a good one. Michigan almost never fails to produce some good tight net racing. Of course, fixed setup tonight, which is a little different than the open setup that we've been seeing over at Hobo, and driving very tight. These guys also driving a different EXE, so these cars are going to be behaving very differently compared to what you might normally be used to. So I think that it's going to be a pretty wild card race here tonight, and you got a lot of competitive guys, so it is going to be a fun one. And I am very, very happy to be joined alongside a good friend from the offline side, who has very graciously joined for this one. My man, Caleb Rose. Holy moly, man, you are calling yourself an online race.
I am so looking forward to this. Thank you so much for having me up here for this one. I do definitely have a bit of experience with online racing, and I know it is definitely a lot of fun in this race. I'm sure will definitely be no exception to that. Got a pretty stacked field here tonight, and I'm really looking forward to see how it goes. It's going to be really fun.
It's going to be very, very fun, and it's always fun whenever I'm alongside you. I remember calling that Top Tracks to Open race with you. That was a blast. But now we got actual guys behind the wheel of these things, and that just creates such a different feel to it. To those who are unfamiliar, Caleb here typically does a lot of offline series and races over on AG, the channel that I never shut up about. So, but just because, yeah, my man Alex always runs it. But also on that channel is Caleb. He does some series over there, so he's obviously well versed in the offline side of things. But as he alluded to, he has raced online quite a few times, along with some guys and girls over there as well. So I think that this will be a different look for you, Caleb, being on the commentary side of it, and just the unpredictability of the different personalities and the different driving styles. Obviously, the AI, they all drive pretty much the same. It's just a matter of like who has the better rating or not. In this case, it truly is like the full personality on display, and that's why I love calling these things. So I think you're going to be in for a real treat, my man.
Definitely, like I said, yeah, looking forward to this, and yeah, definitely a lot different from offline races. It's really the first time I've ever really been doing anything like this. Of course, like I said, I've been behind the wheel a couple times, but not really behind the commentary box. But yeah, these online races are always a lot of fun. Like you kind of tapped on, they're definitely very unpredictable. So it'll definitely be fun to watch just about every single move made here. And it's going to be really interesting and really fun to see who will be in victory lane here after 70 laps.
Yep, 70 laps here tonight at Michigan. I'll very quickly go over the qualifying results here. Starting tonight on pole will be Jobin Anderson, a familiar name here on the channel in the 93. Dunlaprad in my stolen number 47. That's the number I race most places. But he'll be on the outside. Keith Hughes in third, ahead of Alex Moe. Great to see Alex out here. Tyler Stallherd rounds out the top 5. And then the head honcho himself here at Fast, Randall Coleman, starting 6th. Sierra Cooper, first time we've seen him out here. He's in the 94. John Foreman, Mike Carroll. Only 9 drivers that took lap times, but also starting tonight will be Chad Heyer, Tate Dorsey, Oscar Ramos, our man Zach Rogers, who was not allowed to qualify after winning the pole last week. That's the rule. If you win the pole one race, you are not allowed to qualify the next race. Or if you go back-to-back wins on ovals, that is also a rule. Kind of keeps level playing field. But Zach starts 13th. Trey Kinsey, Santi Gutierrez, and Josh Moyers all in this race. So by my calculations, from what I saw on TeamSpeak, I believe that is 15 or 16 drivers. And I think, yeah, we got a lot of competitive guys like Joven, like Josh. Don's going to be fast. Zach's going to be fast. Zach has won the most races so far this season. He has won 7. But also several multi-time winners this season, which include Josh Moyers, Dunlop Prad with a win. Randall Coleman won a couple races ago at Charlotte. Jack Merkel has won a race. He won at Martinsville. Jack Merkel not in the field here tonight. Keith Hughes with a couple of early season wins. And Randall has actually won 3 times. And also, you gotta send a little shout out here to the winner of the Clash, which was the very first event of the season. That was Robert Kubat, who Zach had on his Who's That Driver podcast fairly recently. So that's another thing that I'll kind of plug there is Who's That Driver? That is Zach Rogers' podcast where he talks to various drivers from the online NR community, and he has even mentioned dabbling in offline guys as well. So definitely go check that out. It's always a good time getting to know some different personalities and some different names from the online community, which is always going strong. As I've mentioned before, always every Tuesday night you got various stuff racing, and easily like 80 different drivers racing in various leagues. So tonight's no different. 15 drivers here tonight, and a lot of competition here. We do have stages, but there will not be any stage breaks. They were just award points. Those will be on lap 20, lap 40, and then of course we'll go to the conclusion of the race at that point. Fuel window probably going to be in the ballpark of 25 laps. These cars very, very tight with how they're driving. It will be an inside dominant track. And finally, pit road speed, to my knowledge, is... I'm wanting to say 55. Typically, these Michigan versions are 55 miles per hour. And Michigan does often put on very good shows, as we mentioned, as me and Caleb found out, even on the offline side of things, just yesterday.
Definitely. See if
So,
we see anything like that here tonight.
oh yeah, very, very possible. Well, we're about to kick this thing to the race session. Caleb, obviously, I know you're used to being asked of who your pick to win is going to be, but I know you don't know too many of these guys. But I don't know. Given your experience in racing online, and with it being a large oval like this, a tight setup that these guys are going to be up against, any expectations that you feel we might be able to expect?
That's definitely going to be interesting to see how all these drivers adapt to the really tight setup that we kind of got here around this racetrack. Of course, we kind of got that kind of groove of PJ1 there on the outside lane, which could potentially provide just a little bit more grip, but still, I would definitely expect a lot of multi-groove racing, but definitely going to be interesting to see who we will see up towards the front. But like I said, a lot of strong drivers in this field, so I have no doubt we might see a lot of maybe swapping out for the lead. We'll have to see, but yeah, as the drivers start lining up on the grid here, I am very, very looking forward to seeing how this will all play out.
As we've got the live picture here, and again, Caleb, it is seriously, seriously awesome to have you up here calling an online race. Um, again, it just brings such a different level of excitement when you got guys that are going to be doing all sorts of stuff. And I agree with what NZG's just said in chat there. Trucks around this track is a lot of fun. But these guys are running cup physics, as there's the command there. Yeah, saving tires, I think, is going to be big. I absolutely agree. But yep, shout out to both NCG and a Sierra fan there in the chat. Sarah Cooper in the number 94. And his Stallhood in the number 7. But we got guys that are going to be trying to go from the back to the front. That will include Moyers and Zach Rogers. I expect Oscar Ramos to be pretty aggressive, as we typically see whenever he's in one of these races that we broadcast. 70 laps here at Michigan. Pace car is about to pull on down. It's fast. It is the Fast Renegade Pro Cup Series. It has been a long time. It is great to be back. And away we go here in the Motor City.
Boogity.
Boogity. Three wide mid-pack there. Some guys trying to sort it out, but from the pole, Jovan Anderson will lead the first lap. And already some guys kind of filing around, finding those different groove lanes that you were talking about there, Caleb. And Zach Rogers, we were talking to him prior to the race start. He said it will be very inside lane dominant, but I've seen guys in practice running everywhere, mainly just not the middle. It seems like that little gray patch is where you don't want to be. But knowing Randall and how he likes to set up these tracks, it wouldn't surprise me if he was aiming for some multi-groove racing. Maybe try and save yourself some tire wear on that outside. You're not turning quite as hard. But the speed's definitely going to be on the bottom. And Jordan Anderson is showing that right now, currently holding the lead ahead of LaPrade and Alex Moe in third.
These top guys kind of single filing out for the time being, maybe kind of just trying to settle in just a little bit, but still, yeah, pretty much about throughout the entire field, we're already seeing a lot of guys kind of spreading out, but everybody's kind of just running about everywhere around this racetrack. We're seeing guys all the way up top, on the bottom, pretty much just about everywhere, and seems to be working for just about everybody here throughout this field, so definitely some interesting racing here early on in the going, and I'm sure it's definitely going to get a lot more exciting as this goes along, especially as the stakes get higher towards the end of the race. Almost three wide there for the third position between Alex Moe, Randall Coleman, and John Foreman. Luckily, they're going to kind of settle it out there, as 48 actually got a pretty good run there on the outside lane. But yeah, still, Jovan Anderson doing a really good job here out in the front, but Dunlop Rod not leaving his back bumper quite yet. He's trying to stick with him there as the 9 just barely kind of gets into the wall there off of turn 4.
Just nudge it that will allow Foreman up to the 4th position. It's got to imagine it's a bit of a fan favorite, perhaps, given the sponsor on that number 70, the Michigan University. But yeah, I have a feeling that as this run goes on, those right side doors may be caved in a little bit, because a tight handling racetrack, I should say, is going to prompt you to try to get on the throttle sooner when you shouldn't. And then next thing you know, you're going up and smacking that outside wall. I'm pretty sure these guys do run moderate damage, though, so it shouldn't hurt them too bad. But with this being Michigan, some side damage will make your car even tighter and will slightly hurt your speed on the straightaways. So we'll see if that will play into effect if we do see anyone get into any kind of trouble like that. Tyler Stallhood just ahead of Keith Hughes there. That is 6th and 7th. Oscar Ramos really coming forward, is up to 8th already. As Sarah Cooper gets into the wall, may open the door for Zach Rogers, who's found his way to the top 10 so far. And just kind of checking on through the field. 16 drivers officially, and everyone except for Mike Carroll is still up in the lead pack here. And definitely getting the benefit of the draft, which even in cup physics will definitely play a part in this race.
Definitely, of course, with just the size of Michigan, the draft definitely a very key factor, and that's just kind of how the way tracks like these are, I guess, formulated to, aerodynamics are also very important as well, which kind of like you talked about, getting into the outside wall, kind of denting the right side just a little bit, even just the slightest alteration of aerodynamics can really kind of just throw the car off and make it that much more tighter. So these guys definitely need to try and keep it off of that outside wall, or it could definitely play dividends. Not just down on the racetrack, but in the pit lane as well, of course. We'll probably see pit stops around lap 25-ish, so getting a bit of damage and needing that repair could definitely cost you a bit of time in the pits as well. But this is getting fascinating here so far. It's still everybody kind of just running all around the racetrack. And up here towards the front, it's still the 93 of Anderson out in front. Dunlop is still in second, maybe looking to try and close in. We got side by side for third. Now you're between the 48 of Alex Moe and the 70 of John Foreman. Foreman might even try to get a twofer here as he's looking down the inside of the 47 of LaPrade.
Foreman, I am very impressed. He's looking very, very strong here. Looks like he's going to bail out of that side by side, try to save a step there. Kind of a courtesy move, but credit to Foreman. And not a knock against him, but he was never really one of the front runners in the previous seasons that we've done here for Fast. So this is a very, very competitive car that I'm looking at right here, and I am very, very impressed to see how much Foreman has improved over the last couple of years. And again, I'm not trying to knock him. If anything, that's more of a compliment than anything. And he's doing a wonderful job up here at the front as long as he's able to save his stuff. Hopefully he's not burning it up too much. Tyler Stallhood trying to make a move there, and Randall Coleman. That is not going to pan out quite yet. About halfway through this stage, again, stage points are up for grabs. And the way that the playoffs work for these guys, just kind of based on the car counts that they've been getting, the system has pretty much turned into as long as you make the minimum required number of starts, which I believe is 17 of the 27 regular season races, then that should be enough to kind of point your way into that. And obviously, if you win, you're pretty much in. And winners, like I've said, include Dunlop, include Zach Rogers with a bunch, Keith Hughes with a few wins, Randall Coleman with a few wins, and Josh Moyers as well. Again, Jack Merkel not in this race, but does have a win, so I would kind of put him up there as 3 wide potentially.
3 wide.
Zach's gonna be aggressive here. Ooh, let's see how this goes there through 1 and 2. I know that Oscar Ramos is not going to be one to back out of this, but he goes way up.
He might unfortunately have to there. And it's probably had to get on the brakes to avoid getting into the outside wall. And unfortunately, he's going to lose a little bit of ground because of that. It's a big move there by the 6 of Zach Rogers. He's doing a really good job here so far at making his way up towards the front after, like you mentioned, he won the pole for the last race out, had to sit out of qualifying and start towards the back of the field. And he's doing a pretty good job here so far. Now up here inside the top 10, running in 8th place.
And a great spot there, just ahead of Tate Dorsey right now in the 96. Yeah, made that aggressive move and worked out relatively well. Goodness, a big aggressive slide there for Cooper. That's going to put him in the wall. Ooh!
Oh, boy.
And I don't think Oscar was too pleased about that. Kind of gave him the, hey, come on now, bumper. Ooh. At least that's what I think happened, is Foreman.
Oh!
Going for third, and you got a little squirrely. Got Alex Moe a little squirrely, trying to avoid him. That could have been a bad moment there, but they all keep it straight. And all going on behind those top 2 that have remained unchanged and untouched. But oh boy, Caleb, it is getting crazy here.
Oh boy, a couple cars sliding wide there in turn number 1, including Keith Hughes and Randall Coleman. How about this 6's Rogers? He continues to march his way up to the field. You had a peak there underneath the 70 of Foreman there through turn 2. Foreman got a little bit of a run there on the outside, but Rogers taking another peek down low here down the front straightaway. We had a spin off of turn number 4. I think that might have been the 35 of Mike Carroll. Maybe potentially spinning into the pit lane there. Tough break for him, but it doesn't look like we're going to have a caution, probably because he was out of the racing groove, but now looks like we're staying green here so far, but still just an absolutely superb performance here so far from Jovan Anderson, holding on to this lead. But I'll definitely tell you what, I'd watch out for the 6 of Rogers. He's been very impressive here so far, continuing to try and make up some ground.
I am not surprised in the slightest. Zach Rogers is, I would make the argument, of one of the top dogs in NR Online racing. It was from a pure speed perspective. Yeah, I saw that back there. Oh yeah,
Going
that
at it back
is.
here.
Yeah, it's looking. It's not looking like one of the best days for Sierra Cooper. Has been getting into that wall a lot, and despite that, still holding on fairly decently. Right now, doing some battle there with a few guys, including Ramos, who's fallen back a bit. There's Chad Heyer in the 46, and Santi Gutierrez in the 81. All these guys are still up here in this pack. The only one that's fallen out of it has been Mike Carroll, who definitely is having some more issues there and very slow in 3 and 4. I did completely neglect to check and see if it's manual or in-game cautions, and if it's manual, what actually constitutes a caution. If the rule has stayed the same, I'm pretty sure it's pretty much any kind of contact incident, but you just have to call it out as a contact incident so that the admin will know to get everybody slowed down. But here he comes on the move, and that is going to be second if he's able to slide up in front of the 47. And don't look now, but Jovan Anderson may be in trouble here.
Knock, knock. Oh, lordy, coming. Here comes the 6 of Rogers, now up into second. They went through turns 1 and 2 once again. You see the 35 there on the apron, which it's been a really tough race so far for Mike Carroll. Really such a shame to see that for him. Tough break there, but it is still fascinating to see pretty much everybody else is still kind of just running up here, kind of just in this main draft, and I think that could really play a big factor later, especially once we kind of get towards the pit cycles, which could definitely give everybody the opportunity to stay bunched together as Cooper gets into the wall pretty hard there again off of turn number 4, and now you can definitely see some visible damage to the right door of that number 94. That's, I think, no doubt, definitely playing into the way that 94 car is handling, which definitely a tough break there for them.
Yeah, it's it looks like him and a couple others here, Gutierrez and Ramos, are going to start to lose the main pack here as these tires start to wear down a little bit. Not quite as much wear as I thought we'd see, just based on the lap time fall off. So far, a lot of these guys up front, they've only lost about 0.7 of a second. Oh!
Santi Gutierrez almost lost it off of 4. But they hold on to it.
Oof. Good catch there. Yeah, we were checking up front, but all straight and all good. Ooh, good catch, but checking on back up front. Top 3 remain in a line. Keith Hughes looking for 4th on Alex Moe, and will take that position. That's a dark horse, I would say, right there, is Keith Hughes. He's got some wins. Always decently competitive, just based on my experience and kind of what I was seeing with the overall standings. So, as stage 1 is complete, and Jovan Anderson did win the stage, if he does indeed go for the championship, that does count as playoff points, of which Zach Rogers said he legitimately has like 50 of them. So I'm pretty sure that he'll be pretty secure in making it to the final 4. But that Liquid Death number 6, maybe just trying to feel it out here for these final few laps before the pit cycle opens up, which should be in maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 laps if you stretch it.
Man, share some playoff points with the rest of us, man. Share the wealth. It's been a very strong season there, and definitely looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season goes for him. But like you said, closing in on that cycle of pit stops, and honestly, kind of our top 3, 4-ish are kind of checking out here from the rest of the field, as now there's a pretty decent-sized gap between the 82 of Keith Hughes and the 48 of Alex Moe, and then it's honestly kind of a hornet's nest behind him, as you got the 96 of Tate Dorsey. You got the 89 of Trey Kinsey, Joshua Moyers, Randall Coleman, and John Vorwin. Unfortunately, maybe kind of slipping back here as we got one car actually in the pit lane. That's number 7 at Tyler Stahl, maybe trying a bit of an undercut here.
That's actually a bit surprising. But, hey, who knows? Could work. We'll see how that'll pan out here once the cycle begins for everyone up front. And if that could benefit the 7. We'll see any takers. Not among the front guys. Yep, looks like everyone's staying out as it runs. So, but yeah, definitely some comers and goers at this point in time. Oh man, that was a big move there for Dorsey. As Alex Moe is starting to get freight trained. I think his tires might be used up. There's Josh Moyers, someone that I'm actually kind of surprised to see still, I wouldn't say mired back here, but definitely not as far up through the field as I thought he would be at this point in time. But maybe still just biding his time, maybe seeing if we do end up with a yellow flag. Or maybe just going to try and see what he can do on pit road. Keith Hughes, though, has really come to life and has caught these top 3 and is sticking right there with them. So a very impressive run so far for that 82. That is, you got a Toyota, 2 Chevys, and a Honda up here. Fancy that.
Some more cars coming here down pit lane. You got the 46 of Chad Iyer and the 1 of Oscar Ramos Jr. You're down pit road, lap 24, coming to 25. And I think the window's really going to start opening here, so we might see a lot of these guys come down pit lane here, potentially this lap as, yep, here we go. Here comes our top 4 down pit lane. Got to be careful and make sure to not speed on pit lane.
All looked pretty good there. So far, so good. Absolutely. As Trey Kinsey, Josh Moyers have both stayed out, along with as Tate Dorsey, Mike Carroll, of course, a couple laps down. Oh, goodness. There's some movement all around the place here for Moyers and Kinsey. See how everyone comes off of pit lane here. Oscar Ramos.
Rogers.
Excuse me.
How about Rogers?
Oh, nice stop.
He jumped him.
He absolutely did, and that could be huge. As here come everybody else on to pit road. Jovan's still going to be right there with him. However, boy, now that Zach's out front, that is going to be tough to beat. Tyler Stallhood is going to get up to 3rd with that undercut. We'll see how long that will last for him since he's going to be on 4-lap older tires. But track position-wise, that is a big, big gain there and a very impressive run so far for the 7. And now Donlon and Keith Hughes are going to have their work cut out for them to try and catch back up.
Definitely, as the top 2 have got a pretty decent size gap. Now back to the 7 of Tyler Stahl, like you kind of mentioned there as well, on a few lap older tires, but like you said, at least in terms of track position wise, definitely seems to have worked out for the 7. We'll have to see if he can potentially hold on or at least stick up here with those couple lap older tires. I think I saw maybe about a 1 second-ish lap time fall off once we got towards the end of that run, so we'll just have to wait and see. But the 47 Dunlop looking to try and find a way around this number 7. Went all the way down to the apron there, down the front straightaway, and looking to maybe try and diamond the corner here. But honestly, I gotta say, it looks like these guys might be kind of closing into our race leaders here, as maybe the draft is coming into play here.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Dunlop did just run his personal best of the race, and that was a half a second quicker than the top 2. All these guys, oh yeah, they've caught right up.
Oh yeah.
But that's a question of how hard are they pushing? How much have they burned up their tires here short in the going? Or are they going to start to really try to back it down, try to save those? We've been clean and green so far in this race. But now we've got everyone here in the top 5 in it with a chance as it stands, as Dunn is going to make the move there for 3rd. And take it rather handily. Oh, well, maybe.
Ooh, oh.
Don't
Donlon
know.
with a bit of a run there to the center of the corner, and he's peeking to the inside here. Oh, but he gets
Cross
blocked.
him over. Oh, now you got to be careful.
The Prod
A real
having
big
none of
block.
it.
Yeah, but you got to be careful because hard blocking like that is actually not permitted until 3 to go. I don't know if that was a reactionary move or maybe just trying to get down to the bottom, but Jovan Anderson looking,
Ooh.
gonna file in line. As Keith Hughes gonna try to follow suit and try to get by the 7.
Anderson took a peek there down the back straightaway on the 6 of Rogers, but he was able to hang on. Hughes and Stolid now side by side. The Prod all the way down, almost to the grass here, down at the front straightaway. And you see we're going to stay side by side here for the 4th position going into 1 and 2. Hughes might have the preferred line here through the corner. Going to slip maybe a little bit here on exit. Stolid trying to take that run he got from the top back underneath, and Anderson's looking once again. He might try and stick here on the quarter panel. He's going to try and dive it in here to 3 and 4, and we're going to be side by side here for the lead, coming to complete lap 31.
Oh man, this is going to be close here at the stripe. Give it to Anderson, but not clear as of yet. We'll see if he's able to do it on entry. Looks like he will. So new leader once again. Jovan Anderson has taken it back. Keith Hughes underneath the 47. Fantastic racing for these guys up here in the top 5. Don't look now, but I just looked at the lap time of Tate Dorsey, Josh Moyers, Alex Moe and company. Boy, are they closing. Half a second that last lap. This could get dicey here.
Especially if all our guys up front here keep going at it. That could definitely give these guys a pretty big opportunity to continue closing in. They closed about 3/10 that time by. Hey, Dorsey's absolutely ripping it there in that number 96, and if they can continue at this rate, they're definitely going to close into our top 5 here. I don't think this is going to be a 5-horse race for the win, I can tell you all that.
Yeah, these guys continue at their current pace. They may try and snip some draft off the 7, who, yeah, his older tires I think are starting to show. But I would not be surprised if once they sniff that draft, trying to continue running up that low line through the D oval there. It's not quite dog leg. It's just a continuous turn. But Zach Rogers, going for it again and clears him.
Got him. Wow.
Beautiful move there. Jovans looks like he's just going to stick with him for the time being. So 2 guys that have raced each other for a long time, on again, off again, and been friends for a while. They know a thing or two about racing with each other, and I'm not surprised that it's those 2 up there. But Dunlap, I know him from racing it, seeing him at Fast, seeing him at IMRC, seeing him in various places, NNSCRA. I know that he just enjoys just sitting and watching the fight in front of him and just being like, all right, you 2 do your thing. And as soon as things go south, I'll be there to pick up the scraps. And he's just sitting there in third, doing his thing. That is the most Dunlap thing I've ever seen. As Keith Hughes sticking with them, doing a great job. And Tate Dorsey has now gotten up to 5th and is now definitely within the draft of this top 4. But we'll see again, if they haven't burned up their stuff, that's going to be a big thing. If they burned it up, then that won't last long. But if not, oh boy, we're going to be in with a multi-car battle here for the race lead. As 7 and 60, I got a little close for comfort.
This has been an exciting run here after that first cycle of pit stop. We've seen a crazy, awesome battle for the lead between Jovan Anderson and Zach Rogers. We're seeing a big rally here coming from Tate Dorsey and company, trying to close in on our top 4, and it definitely looks like that 96 might be in the draft of our top 4, and definitely think that's going to draw Joshua Moyers and all these other guys back into the mix as well. This is definitely getting exciting, as honestly we're definitely not honestly, definitely going to have a great run here to the finish.
Yeah, we've been clean and green here for this first half. We are within the second half now. And, hey, keep in mind, we got a few laps away from the second stage conclusion, so points will be handed out for that. Jovan Anderson did win that first stage. We'll see if he's going to try hard to repeat that, or if Zach Rogers, that was sideways. 82 getting onto the apron. Credit to him for holding on to that, but Tate Dorsey's going to try to take advantage. Not quite going to be able to do it. Here comes Dunn for second.
Had a good run there down the back straightaway, looking to the inside for second, and is going to take that spot away. The move LaPrade now up into the second position, getting by the 93 of Jovan Anderson. We'll see if LaPrade potentially has anything for the 6 of Zach Rogers. Like you said, LaPrade, definitely a very strategic driver. Kind of just likes to abide by his time and wait for the right moment to strike. And maybe saw a bit of a moment there out of the 93 of Anderson and took advantage, but now he's up in the second position, and we'll have to see if he maybe potentially has anything for this 6 of Zach Rogers. But ever since he kind of solidified himself here up in the race lead, he's definitely been a very strong car and holding that race lead. But LaPrade might have a bit of something here as he cuts down to the inside off of 4. Is he going to get to the quarter panel of the 6? Looks like the 93 is going to help him get there, and we're side by side for the lead. Here comes the 47 of Dunn LaPrade.
Dunn LaPrade going to try to get the stage win for himself, which will be at the conclusion of this lap. And Dunn not going to clear.
Got to run on the outside.
Who's Jovan help? He's going to stick with Dunn. And this will be a big corner here for the stage win. It's going to come down to one of these two, so Jovan's not going to get the stage win this time. Ooh, this is going to be close. Very, very close.
Rogers with the run on the top, and he's going to get it.
He's got it. And Jovan trying to help him out there, but give that win to Zach Rogers, and yet another stage win for the 6. And now Dunn clearing the race lead. They're catching Sierra Cooper. Lap car there, the 94. I think something may have happened to a Tyler Stallherd earlier. I had seen. Oh, goodness! Rewind!
Down to the bottom.
Oh, they're going to get out of that quickly. Oh, I thought that was a bit early to make that move. Woo! These guys are putting on a show here, let me tell you what. And Hey, what were we saying at Caleb? Michigan cooks, no matter where you're at, no matter whether it's offline or online. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go again for the lead as Jovan Anderson takes a peek inside of Dunn LaPrade. Kind of sliding up a little bit. Here comes the 6 of Rogers with a pretty good run there on the inside. Going to go side by side for second. What a move there, though, out of Jovan Anderson. They're going to stay side by side going into 3 and 4. And, yeah, just going to prove your point. No matter online or offline, honestly, kind of no matter the version, this track is incredible.
Oh, man. Oh, here we go. Keith is going for it again. And he's got a better run this time around. How's this going to go? Oh, he's got to bail out of the throttle. That's the thing. Yeah, you get that shallow angle in there. But they're still 3 wide. Oh, they're going to... Oh, they're going to stay 3 wide. They got a lap car ahead of them. And Dunn's going to bail out of that.
Wow.
Don't look now. Hello, Josh Moyers. That is someone I think is going to be contending for this win. Tate Dorsey has had some great speed with how he's closed in. So, oh, goodness.
Oh, Cooper.
Watch it
Hold
there.
Hold on to it. There you go.
And someone who's also sticking with this group and doing a great job is Trey Kinsey. We have not said much about that 89. Jordan.
Good job. Wow.
Yeah, he's doing awesome. Randall Coleman struggling to hold on to this group. Tyler Stallhood, I wonder if he's short pitted again. Actually, I don't see him. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Okay, I think he is coming off pit lane there. As John Foreman.
He's coming down this time by for his second stop.
Who was that came down? I'm sorry.
Looks like Tyler Stallhood. Yep, he is coming down.
Oh, yep. Yeah, those tires have given up the ghost. on that number 7. And also saw John Foreman fall back. That's an unfortunate break with the speed that we saw from him earlier. But
Heating back
still,
up again out front.
yeah, we got still 8 guys in this lead pack pretty much. Randall Coleman's barely holding on. And he still may have a chance, but he's going to need some fortune to fall in his favor. 25 laps to go here at Michigan, clean and green. Caleb, of the 2 races that I've had you up in the booth, one offline, one online, there has not been a caution yet in that entire stretch.
I'm kind of surprised that these guys have kept it clean and green so far. We've seen a lot of kind of dicey moves, but man, I am glad they have kept us green, as this has been some spectacular racing, some spectacular battles all throughout the field, and I'm sure we're definitely not done with these battles just yet, as we're closing into the second cycle of pit stops, and then it's pretty much just a straight shot to the finish, and I'm sure that'll probably be the most exciting run of them all.
Yeah, it's going to be a run that's long enough that you're going to want to save your tires at least a little bit, but fuel's not going to be remotely a question. They're going to be well and truly good to go. Heck, they could pit now and be good to go, but I'm sure that these guys are probably going to run it down, maybe pit a lap, maybe just a lap early, just try to get that undercut. But that's the thing, though, with when you got what will probably end up being about a 20-lap concluding run, that will really open the door for pit strategy and when you pit, undercut, overcut, try and get the fresher tires. We saw that undercut only worked for so long for Tyler Stallhood. Everyone else that pitted on pretty much the same sequence is now up here in contention. It's a bit of a 5-car breakaway now, as Kinsey and Moe are starting to slip back. Coleman has slipped back. And I think, yeah, okay, we did have a taker. Tate Dorsey did come down the pit lane the previous lap, so he's going to try for the undercut in that 96. We'll see how that will play into this, as top 5 remain on the racetrack and still running their speed about 7/10 off of their best. Again, not a ton of fall off, but enough that it'll make a noticeable difference. Seeing the pit lane entry there. Ooh. Chad Hire having a hairy moment, but not too much harm or foul there. And I think it'll just cost him some time.
Oh! Into the wall goes Anderson.
That's gonna open the door.
And here comes Rogers.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't gonna let that run slip, as Dunn's gonna try to take 3rd. Oh, back on once again. Man, this is good stuff.
Side by side for the lead and for 3rd. Anderson's going to slip a little bit wide there. Into the lead once again goes the 6 of Zach Rogers. Are going to stay side by side back here for 3rd between LaPrada and Keith Hughes. And this is going to be interesting, because maybe even this time, by at least in the next couple of laps, we should start seeing these guys duck down. And yeah, there you go. Zach Rogers and LaPrada are going to come in, but Anderson, Hughes, and Moyers are going to stay out.
Interesting. I'm actually surprised that these guys, especially Anderson, I'm surprised they're staying out. But I guess they're figuring, hey, we'll try to just pit off sequence with them. We'll close in on them. Heck, you saw the rate that Dorsey, Moyers, and company were able to close earlier. So I don't know. This could end up playing out for them nicely. Alex Moe also on pit road. Here we go. 20 laps to go. Coming to 19. Front 3 coming in.
Top 3.
Keep it clean, boys. Looks like they will. Yeah, pit road has not caused too many issues. Saw a few back runners kind of getting into some trouble. But so far, everything's been looking good for these leaders, as long as they did not speed. Moyers gets into his box. There's Kinsey coming in there in the background. Where will everybody emerge? That's going to be the big question. Dorsey's going to be net second, probably.
Interesting.
Here we go, Josh Moyers. Oh, he
Oh,
just
Joshua
got them both.
Moyers.
Got them both. That's
And
big.
here comes the 6 of Rogers. He's going to pass them. And yeah, Tay Dorsey now into the second position after that undercut. And here comes Moyers, Hughes, and Anderson back onto the racing surface. Laprade, though, with a full head of steam. Looks like he is going to take third position back. And also here comes the 48 of Alex Moe. But as they go into the corner, everything might kind of equalize out just a little bit. Moe all over the back bumper of the 93 of Anderson. But it looks like he is going to stay tucked in behind for now. So we got Zach Rogers and Tate Dorsey kind of by themselves up towards the front. Then you got Laprade a little ways back in third, followed by Moyers, Hughes, Anderson, and Moe. Pretty decent-sized pack back there, so if they can maybe kind of get formulated up here, they could definitely make a run here at this top two, kind of like we saw out of all those guys there in that second run.
And they got a second and a half to close. And with coming to 17 laps to go, knowing what we saw from that other pack earlier on, and the fact that it's 2 versus, what's that, 5? Yep, 5 cars. Yeah, it was already half a second there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think that these guys are absolutely going to close in. There is no question about it.
Ooh. Especially if these two maybe try and go at it for the lead, which 96 took a bit of a peek there through 1 and 2. Bone is peeking again through 3 and 4.
He just runs a lower lane, and Zach kind of runs that slight, like half groove to a groove higher. I'm sure that that's by design, probably saving his tires a little bit. Honestly, Zach Rogers, even though these guys are closing in on him, which they've pretty much caught him at this point, it took him 2 laps to do it, but he's running slower. He's running that higher lane. I still feel like he's in the catbird seat here, because his tires are going to be relatively equal with everyone behind him, but he's really conservative. He's almost letting them catch him, and then I'm sure that once they get to racing, his tires will be in the best shape, and he'll be able to fight them way harder than everyone else will be able to fight him. Although Jovan Anderson and Alex Moe are kind of slipping back again. I'm willing to bet you that is by design, and they'll be fighting for it here come the conclusion of this race. But it's 15 laps to go, 7 drivers in it with a chance here, but they are led by Zach Rogers in the 6, checking on just kind of through the field at the moment. And Trey Kinsey lost touch with them, but he's still in 8th. Randall Coleman 9th. That's a kind of a tough break there for Randall. So again, another driver I would have expected to be pretty close there to the lead battle, but hey, that's sometimes just kind of how it falls. But 14 laps to go here, Caleb, and at least 5, if not 7, drivers that are going to be fighting pretty hard here soon enough.
Yeah, that question of whether or not those guys could catch up pretty much got thrown out the window about immediately. They drove up to them just like that. And now they've already kind of made quick work there on the 96 of Tate Dorsey, but looks like he is going to be able to slot in behind. Oh, we got a battle for second between Moyers and the 47 of Laprade, but 47 might have a bit of a run here on the outside. He's going to have the draft from the 6 down the straightaway, and he's going to stay clear of the 68 for the time being. Keith Hughes also with a run into the inside. Here comes Dun Laprade trying to take the lead away.
Big send there. He's going to get it for the time being. And yeah, well and truly clear. That's a big one there for the 47. How long is he going to be able to hold on to that, though? Now, if a caution does come out, they have to hold their position. They don't race back until 5 to go. Blocking at your own discretion is legal at 3 to go. Until then, you can't be throwing blocks left and right. You can't be pulling a modern day super speedway. As here we go for second.
Rogers with a peek this time on Zach Rogers.
Got squirrely, I think.
Rogers is able to roll the top, though, and stays clear for the time being. Laprade trying to snake a little bit there down the back straightaway, trying to break the draft. Here comes the 82 Keith Hughes with a big move down the inside. And we're
Ooh.
double foul for both second and the fourth position. Some crazy stuff going on here for the lead, and this is letting Anderson and Alex Moe close in and get back into the mix here.
You know, they're looking ahead of them going, oh, yeah, keep it up, boys. 11 to go. Dunlap also looking in his mirror going, all right, keep it up. But, ooh, man, nice corner there, Keith Hughes.
Whoa.
Gonna get clear if he doesn't push into the wall.
Whoa.
Oh, I thought he was about to.
Caught the wall there.
Dorsey did catch it just a smidge. Zach's gonna try to take it back.
Oh, yeah, it's on now.
It is on. Oh, slide up the track there a little bit. There is no saving going on right now from what I can tell. Holy cow. 10 laps to go. Side by side for second. Josh Moyer still in the mix here. Tate Dorsey starting to slip back. Again, remember his tires are slightly older than these guys. He got up here thanks to the undercut. Oh my goodness, Keith is not giving a lot of room. Oh, that's awesome stuff here in Michigan. And with 10 laps to go, it is anyone's race up here in the top 7.
And Rogers back to the bottom.
For the race lead, that Liquid Death Chevrolet.
Hughes up to the top to push the 47.
Keith is going to stick with Dunn. Oh my goodness, who led that lap? And Keith's going to try it again. This time for the lead.
He's pulled it all day long, and he's going for it again.
Dunn backs out.
And it might work out for him.
Oh, not quite. But he's going to stay side by side. Dunn. Oh! That was contact there, bumper grabbing. Oh, he's pushing up the track there a little bit. He's going to have to get off the throttle. That will give the advantage to the 6.
Wow.
And we ain't done yet.
We're not done.
I was going to say we ain't anywhere close to done. It's 8 laps to go. Zach Rogers back to the point all by himself. They are catching some cars up here, including the 46, and I believe that's the 81. Don't know if they'll be a factor here. But they are side by side for second place. That's given a couple car length gap for Zach Rogers. But now Keith with a push from Moyer is going to get clear. Let's see if he's able to run down Zach Rogers at all, or if Zach Rogers may be able to go 2 in a row after winning last week at, I believe, Nashville. 7 to go now, and he's got a hungry group of guys still behind him. And don't count out that 93 and the 48. They've been lurking back there, just saving their stuff. I think that they will definitely have an advantage here.
Definitely, as now the 93 up into the 5th position, past the 96 at Tate Dorsey, and that 93 kind of just been hanging out back there, maybe saving them stuff just a little bit, and could definitely pounce here as we get to 6 laps to go this time by, and same could probably be said for the 48 of Alex Moe as well, kind of just abiding by his time back here while these guys are out driving the doors off of each other up here.
Their doors off, the bumpers off, the helmet's off, you name it. These things are being driven as hard as they've been driven all race long. And Zach's doing the same thing. He is staying ahead of the 82 at the moment. As here comes Joven, big send for 4th.
Whoa!
Gonna get that move.
Hey, here he comes.
Here he comes, the Amico, the Dave Blaney throwback, number 93 that Joven loves to run, is up to 4th. Dunn going for 2nd. Both of them are going to send it in here pretty hard, I imagine. With 5 laps to go at Michigan. Clean and green.
That corner really well. He's side by side for 3rd.
Gonna get a push, a bump from the 93. That'll help him out in getting clear. All this behind Zach Rogers, though. They've got 2 cars ahead of them. It's Mike Carroll in the pits. 4 laps to go now. Ooh, that's a bit of a weird spot there. 3rd place. Ooh, boy. But Dunlap Prado's still clear for now. Don't know how long that's going to last, though.
Nobody giving an inch here. They're still side by side for third. Maybe a bit of contact between Hughes and Anderson down the backstretch.
Oh,
And
Jovan's pushing
still
a little.
side by side into 3. The 93 trying to clear him, and he's got him. Anderson now up into 3rd. Here comes Moyers now going for 4th. 3 laps to go here from Michigan, and I'd still say it's probably about any of these guys' race. And man, this has been an exciting run to the finish here. LeBron up the racetrack a little bit. Anderson trying to maybe get underneath here down the back straightaway. He's got a push from Keith Hughes. He's going to take that run down to the bottom. Is he going to send it into turn number 3? He's going to try it, but LeProd sent it a little bit further in. Coming to 2 to go here from Michigan.
Still managed to make it stick. You saw the 46 bail out of the way. Courtesy move there. The 81 probably going to keep it high here. They're catching the 35. I think maybe the 6 maybe got a little bit of draft from some of those lap cars. May have helped them out a little bit. 81 up the track. You're going to stay out of the way as they are still side by side there for 4th place. But now some draft for the 6 off of the 35.
Oh, here comes Anderson for 2nd.
Jovan trying again. Yeah, he knows this is pretty much his last chance. But, oh man, great run through the corner.
He's got it. Oh, the slow car on the outside.
You had to check up a little bit there. White flag in the air. A clean green race from Michigan. But several car lights now for the 6 of Zach Rogers. He's just got to be mistake-free. Jovan's going to try to get the run on the high side. Diamond the corner here a little bit. But man, it's going to take a heck of a run for him to get to the 6 at this point in time.
Oh, he's got a pretty decent sized run there down the back straightaway. He's going to have one chance maybe here coming off of turn 4.
Going to stay in the draft of the 6 as long as he can.
Not
Not enough. Zach Rogers, our right-hand man here on the channel, gets the win in a thrilling race at Michigan. What a job by all these guys. 16 cars, and everyone was able to keep it clean and green. But despite that, they almost never let up the entire race, and that they kept it straight, but kept it going as hard as they could, and it showed. I don't think any of these guys left anything out there on the racetrack. Great stuff. And some congratulatory bumps there for the 6. There's a 68 there. What a job. We're going to get to talk with our top 3. But coming to the start-finish line here, burning it down. Rightfully so. Another win on the season. And what has been a relatively dominant season for the 6 of Zach Rogers. That is win, if I'm not mistaken, points win number 8. You can tell he's done this a few times before. Ignore that yellow flag. I don't know what that's there for. Oh, burn it down to victory lane. There you go.
That's how you celebrate at Michigan. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
That's a screenshot right there. Woo. There was not a dull moment in that one. That was awesome. Awesome stuff. Zach Rogers with the win. Jovan Anderson, Donlon Pratt, your top 3. We'll get a word with all those guys. There's not a single ounce of anything left of those guys left on the racetrack. That sentence made no sense, but let's pretend it did. Keith Hughes, Josh Moyers, and Alex Moe, your top 6. All those guys within 1.5 seconds of each other after 70 green flag laps and 2 pit stops. Tate Dorsey Willemer is 7th and did end up dropping back, but still a decent run there for the 96. The 89 Trey Kinsey, will finish 8th. Top 10 rounded out by Randall Coleman and Oscar Ramos. John Foreman, Tyler Stallhood, 11th and 12th. They finished on the lead lap. Santi Gutierrez one lap down. Sierra Cooper 2 down. Chad Heyer 3 down. Mike Carroll 5 down. All 16 drivers did finish the race though, which is pretty cool. And yeah, a 16 car field. That's a kind of middle of the road field for this league, but still a phenomenal race that these guys put on. I was saying that this was a very, very stacked field, and it showed the cream rose to the top, and all of them were doing battle up until the very end there. But Zach Rogers, though, once he got that several car length lead, it was on for him. And yeah, I think that him saving his tires there at the beginning of the run, allowing those guys to close in, may have been the difference maker. But all in all, though, he's got a lot to be proud of after that one. Oof, what a race.
Definitely, that was a spectacular race. Like you said, just an absolutely stacked field we saw here tonight, and they absolutely delivered. Gave us a great battle for this race win, and just what a performance by honestly just about all these guys finishing up towards the front. Zach Rogers holding on there. Jovan Anderson had a great rally there towards the end. Dunlop Prod was up front all night. Keith Hughes had a lot of great moments and came home with a great finish. And Joshua Morris as well, coming from the back of the field to a top five finish. Great runs all around and just a great race in general here from Michigan.
Yeah, top five finishing within 6/10 of a second of each other. That's pretty cool to see in a race that had Zippo on the cautions there. That you didn't have to stack them up; they all just stayed stacked up the whole way. So that is awesome stuff. These guys will be doing road course battle next week at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, of course, the home of the Mexican Grand Prix in real life. And then we will be back covering these guys from Pocono on June 22nd, 2 weeks from now. Before that, though, we got some guys that we're going to talk to. And let's start with our third place finisher, Dunlop. I completely whiffed on getting him in here. There we go. There we got him. Dunlop, the guy who stole my number. You copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
Run the 47. Come on, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I had no other choice. The guy who drove there's a guy who took the 74, so I had to invert and use the 47. So sorry.
I guess so, I suppose. Well, hey, honestly, you do way better in that 47 than I do. You drove a heck of a race there. And as I was saying with Caleb here, there were six of you pretty much that stayed competitive all race long. You closed in on Zach Rogers there at the end, and we're doing battle pretty much the entire time. But all in all, though, still going to be a third place finish in what was a very competitive race. Was there anything else you felt you could have done there, or not quite? And all in all, how are you feeling about how you finished?
I probably could have saved a little bit more tires just to try to be able to have a slight edge, but the issue with that was Dirty Air was so apparent in the long runs that it's really hard to be able to make passes look on a long run. You got to be able to do it early on and all the way to the midway point and a little bit after the midway point of your fuel run, because after about 7 laps to go on the fuel run or whatever, it's like the dirty air. It just like, it's like you get, there's like a wall in front of you, like you have nowhere to go. So, um, as I probably could have saved tires, but I don't know, with how the dirty air played out, it was going to be a monumental challenge to be able to fight Zach and others at the end, especially in those last couple of laps. I had to really try to be mindful, try to put myself in the right position, but I just did not have the quarter speed through the turns like Zach and Jovan had. I was right there with them in the end, but I was struggling, the mid speed corner. And I could be able to get the entry fine, but the mid corner speed was one of my um, weakest links in this race. So still overall a good third place finish. I wish that I would have put the 47 Lazarus Chevrolet in victory lane. But all in all, it was a very competitive race, and considering some of the races I've had, I'm pretty proud to be able to stay right there at the end and have a fighting shot at the win and to get a third place finish. Against guys like Zach, Joven, Josh, Alex, Tate, Keith, and Tyler, Randall, and others. It was a very competitive race for sure, and a very I had to do a lot. I had to do quite a bit of work at the end, but overall, it was a good night for me.
Hey, great night indeed, and a lot of fun to watch. I could tell you that right off the bat. You did mention the dirty air. I'll just ask you real quick about this. Zach did mention kind of pre-race that it was a very, very tight setup, and it looked that way from up here. I kind of want to get your input on kind of how it drove, just kind of in general. I'm sure the dirty air kind of amplified that, but all in all, it definitely seemed like the setup leaned toward just being very pushy and very tight. Would you concur with that?
Yeah, I'd say so. Especially in the long run when your tires, because my right front was at the yellow about 3 laps to go into a field run, and even before that, that's when it really starts to get pushy, and it was very difficult to make passes that way too. That's why you saw a lot of us kind of struggle to make the pass to someone on the inside work a couple of times, just because the setup was so tight in the long run that you really had to get someone to push you. But even then, that was also going to be really difficult to be able to make the passes work unless you. The only way I feel like that you could probably make a pass work in the long run like that is if someone just clobbers the outside wall. So that's really how the setup felt, and yeah.
I think that's Alex in the chat that just kind of agreed with you and said that once the tires worn down, the car wouldn't turn for crap for to use a different word, but at least I think that's Alex Mo. If you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong, but no, it still panned out for you pretty nicely. Caleb, just gonna send it to you if you had any particular questions or anything for Dunn.
Not really particular, just a great race out there tonight. Really exciting to see you go. Really happy to see you back, and just yeah, congratulations on that finish, man. That was a very, very well deserved third place finish. You really gave it your all and just put on a very spectacular show.
Yep, thank you. It was a rough, well, I wouldn't say rough. It was a tough battle to get the spot. Um, but I made it work in the end, and I was right there in the end. And like I said, we came up 2 spots short, but that's just the way it goes.
Not too much more you can ask for aside from those extra 2 spots, but being in it with a chance, that's always a big step there toward that. So awesome race, great moves, and very very well done. Of course, as per usual, whenever we get you up here, we'll let you have some closing thoughts and shout outs, whatever you want to do. The floor is yours.
Well, I want to first off say congratulations. Well, yeah, congratulations to Zach Rogers on the win. Well earned win, buddy. Um, shout out to you guys for commentating and broadcasting the race for everybody to see at home. Shout out to everyone. Um, that was Shout out to everyone watching at home. Shout out to everyone in this race that participated. A caution-free race. That's always really refreshing. So wonderful, clean, and great race from start to finish. Shout out to Joven. He helped me out a lot. Um, Shout out to Joshua Moyers. He helped me out some in the race as well. We were all able to work together to get up there with Zach. So, like I said, and Alex too. So, shout out to all of them, and shout out to Team EFR, um, and shout out to everyone for making me the better driver.
A great run for you, my man. Hopefully we'll see you at Pocono. That'll be the next race that we'll be doing. So hopefully we'll see you then. But until then, though, awesome run tonight, and big congrats and awesome racing. That was cool.
Thank you all. You all have a great night. Okay.
Yeah, same to you, my man.
You too, dude.
Thank you all. See y'all.
User
See ya.
disconnected from your channel.
You pops up for the night. That was Alex Mo in the chat that was saying that. Next on the list here, just going down the order. Here's a good friend,
User was moved to your
which
channel.
is the goober himself, Jovan Anderson.
Where?
You.
Oh, I don't see him.
Oh, I see you.
I don't.
Actually, yeah, the true goober in here is Caleb. Let's be
I
real
can't
here.
see him.
No, I'm
Actually,
doing,
I can't see anything. Am I blind?
Yeah, I'm doing my
Oh.
best John Cena
No.
impression. You didn't know? You didn't know?
Well, I'd rather you didn't hit me in the face with a watch. So, I guess that.
Oh, I've missed out on some more.
You got to be a little bit. You got to keep up with wrestling to know what the heck I just meant right there. But Jovan, that is a P2 for you to a guy that you have had many a battle with. But man, I don't. It's been a while since I've seen racing that hard from that many guys in a caution-free race at the end. That was pretty cool to see. I just got to ask you, car getting tight at the end, I'm sure, because that seems to be the general consensus. Anything else you feel you could have done there, or just did all you could do?
I mean, the only thing I could have distinctly improved on, and this is me just being nitpicky, is I could have had better pit stops. I think I gave up a little bit. Just pitting in general. I was nice and safe on entry just to make sure I didn't get a black flag, and then I think the first stall didn't really help me out too much either on the lunch off. First gear was pretty short, so I gave up a little bit of time there. And that kind of cost me, especially getting back out onto the track and lost a few spots. But clean air was really important there. It helped a lot, and I think I missed one corner to let Zach pass me right before the second set of pit stops, and then we kind of got off cycle a little bit there. So, but it was still a phenomenal race, and I had a great time.
Phenomenal indeed. I'll just ask you kind of the same question I asked Dunn, and kind of what you had just alluded to there with clean air being really important there. Just tight setup from what I could tell. Would you concur with that the setup really made for a pushy race car, which I know for a fact would drive me nuts if that is indeed the case?
At the end of the run, yeah. I mean, it's fixed setup, so I mean, of course, it's a given. You want to have, when you're racing in fixed setup, you want to have a neutral, balance, feeling setup. No matter what kind of track you're running on, because that's going to ultimately, provide the racing that you saw tonight for everybody. And I think it did a great job of doing that. If you didn't run super hard early, the tires stayed balanced for the majority of the run, and I think it was just a game of trying to get the most out of the tires that we could there, with also trying to stay in the draft, because obviously that's always important in Michigan too. So
At high speeds, yep, you gotta keep that draft in front of you. It seemed like you found a good kind of a decent middle ground there, but hey, just one spot short, but still very nicely done. Caleb, if you've got any particular thoughts or questions for our runner-up here?
Well, I definitely got to say, you ran a great race, especially there at the end of the run there after that final set of pit stops. You had an absolutely great rally there up into the second position and had some great battles all throughout the race. But kind of leaning in the hypothetical direction a little bit here, do you think you could have maybe got to Zach if you maybe had a couple more laps, or what do you think?
I think so. but we'll never know.
I guess that's probably the best way to answer it. But regardless, you drove on a spectacular race. Great job, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you got to remember, getting to somebody is one thing, and passing is another too. So
There you go.
especially at a track like Michigan, because you know wherever other cars decide to go and line up with each other, especially going down the front straightaway there, is definitely gonna dictate where you end up. So
The draft is strong with this one, that is for sure. That I've been on a bit of a Star Wars kick too lately, so don't blame me there. Still, phenomenal stuff. Great racing. Hopefully, we'll see some more from you as we do a couple races here over the next couple months. Next one will be Pocono, so hopefully we'll get to see you then. But for now, though, second place, great job. If you know what to do at this point, closing thoughts, shout outs, whatever you got.
first off, I just want to say thank you to you guys for doing this broadcast. Thank you to Randall and Fast Racing League for continuing this program going on Sunday nights. It's I had a heck of a time tonight. It was a great setup, fun track, and a lot of phenomenal racing with some great guys in here. So I just want to say thank you to everybody involved here for everything that they do, and it's great racing with everybody that I raced with. Shout out to my home league, Bomb Sky Racing, all the guys back home. Hope some of y'all are watching and enjoying this. Thank you, Brian and Kathy Boas from Boas Trucking, and I know you weren't on my car tonight, but that's my sponsor, and I hope everybody out there is enjoying the show as well. Hope everybody had a good time, and I'm going to bed.
Fair enough.
Don't blame you one bit.
Thanks everybody, and thank you guys, and keep doing what you're doing. Looking forward to watching it back.
Hey, you got it. Great job, man, and I'll see you on track soon enough.
Yeah, you better.
Uber.
Nerd. Wuss. All right, I'll see you.
How dare you?
User was moved out of your channel.
You can tell we mess with each other all the time. He's a good friend.
Yeah.
Jovan Anderson, though, coming up one spot short
User was moved to your
of
channel.
this guy.
This guy will not leave us alone.
No, he won't. Goodness gracious. Although, how did I know? How did I know that the guy who just can't get out of this booth is up here again, but this time as a race winner?
Yeah, I think the last time you interviewed me for a win was the Season 9 IMRC title years ago.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, that may have been pre-pandemic.
Yes, it was.
Holy moly.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was right before the pandemic.
And
anyway, winner.
Winner. Some perfectly timed moves. Your pit stops were flawless. Some kids having a fun time in the background at Caleb's place, but
Whoops.
It's all good. But all in all, though, I'll just ask you kind of, and again, I've also been kind of sharing this with the others. Just with the tight setup, clean air seeming like it was superior. That seemed to be the consensus I was getting from the other guys. That once you got that lead, it was very difficult to take it away from you. How did it drive for you? What was it like being in traffic there at points and racing that hard with guys, and then eventually able to get a few car links on them and hold on to that race win?
No, I guess you just want the story start to finish, huh?
Hit me. Go for it.
Yeah, so I mean, couldn't qualify because of the rule. You get a pole at a speedway track the previous week. You can't qualify the next week. So, got the Lotto 13th. Knew with one of you guys being in the stall behind me, I had an opening coming in. And then thankfully, Oscar was pitting off sequence from me. So I had free reign in and out of pit road the whole night on the two stops that we had, which was great. Almost had a collision there on the second one with John. I honestly wasn't even like watching him come in. I was just like, gotta go. So, but yeah, so that first run started 13th, just kind of saved my stuff. I knew it was tight. I knew it was going to get tight in the dirty air. So I just had to, you had to kind of set up the run on exit. You had to kind of get like the wider run, get a little momentum on you, and then make the move before you got to the corner. So then you could drive past through the middle. So that was a challenge throughout the whole first stage. I was trying at the very end of that first stage to get by Joven so I could get that extra playoff point. Which was why I raced the hell out of Dunn in the second stage, because he went to make the move right when it was time to go for the playoff point. So I was like, not on my watch, brother. Like, I want that playoff point. So I worked a little hard there, and then I ended up letting Joven go, Dunn and Joven go, because I wanted to go back to saving my stuff at that point. The second stint, I noticed from the first stint, I was able to save the right front like another 2 or 3 laps. So the first stint it went yellow with 7 laps of gas left, and then the second stint it went yellow with about 5 or 4 laps of gas left. And you were basically burning the front tires off the whole night because it was so tight. So that eventually you got to a point where you were going in the corner and you were just like, it don't want to turn even if I put a little gas in it. So you were just fighting the front end grip the whole night. And that second stint proved to me that, like, it don't even matter if I save my tires good here. And Joven's great at saving his stuff too. But, like, I thought I saved my stuff with clean air, and then he passed me, and I couldn't even, like, get anything to get back by him. So he made a little mistake, and I was able to pass him, and then I ended up having to pit a lap earlier than them, because otherwise it was going to take, like, another probably half a second or so on the pit stop to fill it up. So I didn't want to deal with that, so I pit. So I got lucky there. Tate came out. Tate had pit a lap or two before me, so he came out right as I came off a pit. He was coming around turn 2. So I got a little bit of push draft from him, and I just saved my right front as I had the previous run. I knew they were going to catch me with draft, and at that point, it just became a fight. At first, I let Dunn go by, and then I fought Keith really hard, but Keith got by. Then I got back by Keith, and then I got a big run on a somewhat, not really a big run. I got the tiniest run on Dunn going into 3, and I sent it, got by him for the lead, and then I had to defend Keith big time. Keith was making some pretty good haymakers there off into 3, and I decided it was time to go and realized I had more grip than I thought I did, so I was able to pinch Keith in the apex of 3 and 4. Coming to 8 laps to go, and I just never looked back. And at that point, I was just like, get me to 3 laps to go, because if we have the yellow come out and we take the caution with 4 to go, it's going to be a 1-lap shootout, because we've always done that here at Fast. We can take the pace laps away. So I knew if we got a yellow in the last like 7 laps that it was going to be a tough decision to make of, do I pit and take 2? Do I pit and take 4? Like, what do I do? Like, I'm probably going to lose either way. But the idea was probably going to be to just take 4 and fill it up to get all the grip I could. And it was going to be chaos if that had happened. So once we took 3 to go, I breathed a sigh of relief, and I was like, okay, like, as long as I just manage my corners here, I should be all right. And then I thought Santi kind of got in my way a little bit. But then Mike got in the way of Joven and Dunn off a corner the next lap. So kind of worked out for me. So, yeah, I'll take it. Last year, this race was a caution fest. So to go caution free here tonight, after going caution free last week at Nashville, I mean, great 2 weeks. Last week we only had 7 people. This week we had 16. So I mean, this one a lot more impressive than last week's one. But yeah, I got second here a year ago, and I wrecked the year before and hit the tire wall. So we got to win.
A little redemption there.
Not to say that I don't win at Michigan enough elsewhere already, but I got to win here in Fast, and that's what I'm happy about.
Hey, and you got the full story right there. And
you wanted it.
Hey, yeah, that's what we wanted. But
that's what you asked.
But, hey,
you took a 2-minute question, and then I was like, all right, well, here's a 10-minute answer.
Well, hey, you nailed it even down to the lap, which that is why this guy co-coms with me so much, is because he nails it to a T.
Well, I did look at the replay after the race was over to know.
Yeah, well,
Wasn't really paying
But-
attention in the moment, and I was trying not to
beggars
get
can't be
Taz for the
choosers.
lead.
yeah, I think you were just a little preoccupied with, 7 other guys around you.
Yeah, not to discredit anyone. I saw Josh there for a real quick flicker at one point. But my main competitors there right at the end were Keith, Dunn, and Joven. I was a little surprised Alex didn't have a little more speed tonight, but he's pretty much good anywhere. So just an off night. Same with Randall. Randall had another off night, and he was quite frustrated. But otherwise, another win for Revolution Motorsports, baby.
That Liquid Death machine gets to victory lane once again, and even burned down victory lane a little bit. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it actually blew up right as I parked it in victory lane. So that engine ain't getting inspected for nothing.
Maybe for the better. Who knows? Awesome stuff,
we
though,
got
man.
Pistons in Lake Superior.
Caleb, I'll send it to you if you've got any thoughts or questions for Zach, if you can even ask anything after the full story there.
I mean, honestly, you broke everything down really well. So all I can really say is just a great race. You really show that you know what you're doing. Great execution out on the racetrack. Great execution on pit lane. And honestly, just kind of goes to show that those little things all can add up in the end. And just overall, a great performance and spectacular job out of you tonight, man. Great job.
Thank you, man.
Well, Zach, it's not too often that I get to ask you this, but now that you're on this end of things, what are your closing thoughts and shout-outs? You have the floor.
Yeah, so first little statistical overview here. This was fixed setup win 193 for me, so we're counting down to 200 fixed setup wins on NR2003 right now.
Which he'll get by the end of the month, by the way.
Well, maybe. Mondays of Thunder SummerSlam starts tomorrow, and they do 2 races a night, so I doubt it. Probably by the end of July. But whatever. Like, I'll get to it by the end of the year at this rate. So 75th win and the number 6 for me on this game. It's my most winningest number, so that's a pretty good milestone. I don't know if I'll ever hit 100 with this number, so I'm glad we got to 75 with it. It's also my 75th Speedway fixed setup win, 110th Speedway win overall, 11th win at Michigan, 6th fixed setup win at Michigan. This is probably my best oval other than Homestead. So I love coming to Michigan anywhere because I know I got a shot at the W. So they didn't make it easy on me tonight, which I was also super happy about. Like, I love a good hard race. When you get to the top of the game that you think you can get, all you really want is to win, but you also want to be challenged. So if you win and you don't get challenged, it's kind of like, man, I should have just gone to bed early at that point. But we're racing for the championship here. The playoff reset will obviously be a shuffler. It'll come down to a 1 race thing. But so my goal, this season is just regular season championship or what have you. Just want to say I won the whole season, and if some gremlin happens or something in the finale. But yeah, so to our partners, Liquid Death here has been on the car a lot this year. It's the 2nd win in the Dead Billionaire paint scheme. So happy to get another win. We debuted this scheme back at the Red Bull Ring and got it done. We'll be running the green guillotine car next week at Mexico, since the track literally has green all over it. Makes perfect sense. So we'll have the green guillotine colors out for that. Shout out Tate Dorsey for saying he thought about dumping me for the lead. That would not have been fun, Tate. Yes, I'm reading Discord right now. That would not have been fun, Tate. Got to thank Cody
he
Lamas.
did say that.
Got to thank Cody Lamas for painting my scheme. As always, he does a great job. So far, the only paint scheme we haven't won in this year is the Spirit Box car, and that's a short track only car. So we're not running that again until, I believe, Iowa it's either next month or in August. So hopefully we can get a win in that one at some point. But otherwise, just happy to, got to thank Randall for being my team owner and hosting the league. And he's been allowing me to make a couple track on eye tweaks here and there now the last few weeks, which I feel like has improved the racing a little bit. Got to thank you guys for coming out. I know we'll have you Andrew, and whoever else joins you for 4 other dates. Looking forward to those. And yeah, got to also thank Corsair and Digital Storm, my other associate sponsors. Obviously, Digital Storm for my computer and Corsair for my other utilities and whatnot. So yeah, that's all I got. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, baby. And shout out to, of course, Joven, Dunn, Keith, Josh, everybody else that I raced with tonight. Not Tate, though. Tate can take a hike.
After it's, I literally, I pulled it up in the
Heath.
Discord, and I see, I thought about dumping Zach from the lead. That would have been fun. That would have made for a heck of a TV moment, I can tell you that. But no, it all panned out beautifully. And obviously, yeah, as Caleb said, you drove a phenomenal race. You, sorry, just saw your response there. But no, seriously, man. Again, to call races is always awesome with you. But it's also awesome getting to see you out on track because seriously, you're a damn good driver, and getting to watch you do what you do is a lot of fun. And hey, you even get to learn a thing or two as well. So awesome stuff. Great job. Best of luck on Tuesday. I know you're racing over at Maverick, and then of course,
Love me some Pocono.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
last time I ran Pocono at Maverick was 2 years ago, and it was a crapshoot. Tons of crashes. I actually got in a crash, got engine damage, and I'm so good that I got third with engine damage. So yeah, I'm that guy. You heard it here first. A little bit of ego. Got to get a little bit of ego in there.
Hey, when you're that good, you have every right. So, yeah, I remember actually calling the Pocono Maverick race last year with Blaine. That was an experience. But hey, speaking of Pocono, that'll be the next race that we'll be broadcasting for this series. Definitely
2 weeks
tune in. 2 weeks.
I have not had good luck at Pocono here in Fast. 2 years ago, I showed up late and I got run over in the turn 3. I thought I was taking it easy, and I just got straight up run the hell over. And then I don't remember what happened last year, to be quite honest. I
don't think you were.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even know if we ran Pocono last year. I think we did, but I literally just do not remember what happened to me in that race. I know I didn't win it. That's all I can say. So we're going to try to get one.
Well, it would not surprise me if you show some more prowess as you always do. So best of luck then, and good luck Tuesday. Good luck in 2 weeks, and hey, shout out also to this guy Zach. He's the one that's putting on these streams for you guys. So we appreciate you, and hey, we'll see you in the booth again soon enough, I'm sure. And I guess that's it from him.
Sorry, I was responding to Joven.
Yep, I see that. But great job, man. Awesome win.
Thank you, brother.
Right on. Caleb, I'll go ahead and get your closing thoughts on what we got to see tonight. And hey, your thoughts on calling your first ever online race.
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. I had an absolute blast. That was so much fun, and overall, just such a great race we saw here tonight. Like everyone kind of touched on there, caution free, which is always really nice to see, and gave us some spectacular battles, some spectacular strategy calls, and just overall a spectacular race here from Michigan. Absolute cinema of a race that was, and I am so happy to have been here in the booth to commentate it. So thank you so much for having me, and hey, if you ever need somebody to join you up in the booth for one of these again, just hit me up.
Hey, you betcha. Yeah, hey, keep me posted about Tuesday. I need someone there, so
Yeah, for sure, dude.
And keep me posted. Would love to have you. That'll be Hobo. That'll definitely be that'll be a different crowd. It'll be open setup. It'll be a whole different deal. So that'll be a good one. But yeah, keep me posted on that. Well, on that note, though, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you to those that tuned in. Again, great to have the Renegade Pro Cup Series back on the channel again. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time from Pocono. Of course, got Michigan for Hobo on Tuesday night. And then continuing just our weekly Tuesday trend for Hobo. If anyone else wants any of their league races broadcasted, though, certainly let me know. Facebook, Discord, probably the two best ways to do that. Or email. There is that too. But I don't check that quite as religiously. So, but for now, though, thank you again to Caleb. Congrats to Zach Rogers on the win. And hey, we'll see you guys in a couple days for Hobo here from Michigan. Until then, though, a good evening to all. Take care. Bye for now.
Brr.